What up, Zach? My bit rate on YouTube is lower than it's supposed to be. Why? Okay, now I think we're set up on both. What's up, Zach? On both sides. All right, so we gotta find the tunnel. That's out there. No, I've just been doing a lot of research in this whole comics are dying thing. Like, people seem to think that I spend all day looking into comic book research and sales data and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't. I don't look at a lot of it. I only get on Twitter in the morning to look at it for work. I ignore most people saying comics are dying because, in my opinion, if I'm still getting 55 Batman books, how are comics dying? You know? That's why I've never really paid much attention to the idea of comics are dying. Comics are dying. Oh, no. Okay, but they still sent me like 50 books this month, and Marvel did 60. So what do you mean comics are dying?
This must be an ember from the forge.
Okay, Brucey. So it's kind of like I saw that latest movie that came out that retconned like a childhood friend of Luffy's. What's up, Chief?
I have the ember. The bottle
I'm not
is
against
even
playing it,
warm.
Brucey. I just don't know if I should
If it were
read the rest of the
giving off
manga
any heat
first.
at all, I'd be concerned, given the enchantment on that vessel. Now, let's see if this old girl still works.
So I can use the cauldron to brew things?
Essentially, yes. Collect reagents on the Abbey grounds. You'd be surprised what we can make use of.
And I just drop the ingredients in? Is that not dangerous?
That's part of the fun, isn't it? And I see you've already found a recipe book. I doubt you'll have any trouble following along.
Lighting is a bit more chill today. Not really. Just none of it's on. I don't have any of my lighting on. There's like natural light coming in right there, so I was like, ah, whatever. Plus, I've got issues with my eyes right now, hence these glasses. So I don't know how long we're gonna go today. Depends on how long before I get my eyes tired. I don't care about Ruby and Justice League. Sorry, Stuart. I don't know if you're trolling or you're actually excited, but I've never watched any Ruby. Do they work, these glasses, or my lighting? I'm a little confused what we're talking about, Brucey. Hey, trophy!
You're a natural.
So apparently I have 2015 vision, which I always thought was worse than worse than 2020, but no. Apparently it's better. I can see the lowest line on the eye doctor. The issue I'm running into is these muscles right here that help you focus. So basically what that means is looking at a screen, focusing on a book, focusing on comic books and manga, try to read text on a screen, stresses these muscles out, and then by the end of the day, regardless of how good my vision is, everything is blurry because I can't focus. When I focus, I'm still doing good, but I can't focus is the issue.
That was expertly done, Hunter.
So they're giving me, I guess I got astigmatism, what they call it, where just my eyes like lose focus and the muscles get tired. Since I haven't had it treated in so long, they get really tired really quick right now because I have no way to manage it. So I got a pair of eyeglasses coming in that basically boil down to reading glasses. So when my eyes start to get tired, I can throw those on. It'll help alleviate the focusing issue. And these are $50 gunners. They help a little bit by not making the glare, which makes the focusing a little bit harder. So I pretty much wear them at work right now. It hurts in the sense of like a sore muscle. Like, it just feels sore. I end up rubbing my eyes a lot at night, which is why I went to the eye doctor. So that's all done, and we made the cauldron stuff. Okay, so let's go on a mission. So what I'm not doing right now is stressing out my eyes. That's why my Assassin's Creed project got pushed back a week. And why the next manga episode got pushed back a week. Because I need to take downtime so I don't actually injure myself. You know what I mean? Because like, as soon as they're like, well, what do you do for a living? How much screen time do you have? I'm like, well, from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, my job has me in front of a screen till 5. Then the wife and I play video games till like 9, and then we watch a movie. Why is Wolverine not available? Did we send him on a mission? Only 1 week. I wrote up the script, Brucey. I just need to be able to focus and actually assemble the video now. That's all.
Stay out of trouble.
Oh my God, was that like a thing? Putting that together. I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and even I was like, what is going on? I didn't know half of this shit and how it tied together. Oh, I don't want to do Doctor Strange. Screw Doctor Strange. I mean that. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, wait. But yeah, the script is written up for the first video. It's going to be an overview of the Isu, the main Isu plot, and the precursor plot, which basically follows Minerva, Jupiter, and Juno. And I'll tell you where things like Valhalla branch off, where Odyssey branches off, but they're not a part of the main Isu plot. They're separate plots.
Come back tomorrow, Hunter.
Okay, so we're already working on the Borderline suit. All right, let's go
Always
on
a
that mission
pleasure.
then. Yeah, that's basically it, Suicide Battery. Like, I'm not in a bad way, just my eyes can't focus too much, and the work computer is a lot. Well, so what I've decided to do, and we're going to see how this goes, I'm going to upload the gaming lore videos on both channels. The new one that I made and the original Eligible Monster channel, okay? And what I'm going to do is we're going to redo all the old Eligible Monster ones that I feel like doing, which include Metal Gear Solid. I'm going to try to get a lot of the pronunciations better. We're going to use updated information because, like, with the Resident Evil stories and the Metal Gear Solid stories, a lot of stuff has been retconned and changed due to new releases in the franchises.
Whatever that device is, Hydra would rather destroy it than allow us to capture
I'm
it
still
for
starting it all with Assassin's Creed, but the reason I'm going to upload to both channels is there will be an Assassin's Creed lore channel that is all Assassin's Creed lore, but there will also be eligible monsters, so kind of like Comicstorian and Comicstorian Full Story. I figure I got both channels, I might as well do it. One is like an archive of it, and then one that's the real main channel. And Natalie even actually wants to come back and do some Final Fantasy lore.
Right, feeling it.
So remember we played Ancestors? Yeah, I tried that. I never could get into that one. Watching some Resident Evil 5 live stream, I wonder what you thought about the story. In 5? I liked all the Resident Evil stories. So yeah, for those who are wondering, today's stream's gonna go as long as my eyes can hold out. Then I'm gonna go take a relaxing little break, and I'll probably end up watching a movie tonight with these glasses on. I should get my real glasses tomorrow or Tuesday. So everything can go back to normal next week.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago.
Well, Resident Evil is one of the best examples of things that need to be redone at the classic channel, Flashpool. Because holy crap, has Resident Evil just retconned and changed so much now.
I'm going for it.
Love the effort.
The whole mind control. No, it didn't really make sense with the time, Zach. Not at all. She came out of nowhere with that. Hey, what's up, Akaro-chan? What movie am I gonna watch? I don't know. I normally pick some shitty movie. I pop that on, play on the Switch on the side or something. Just kind of veg out where I don't have to really focus too much because right now, focusing is my issue. Not mentally, my eyesight.
This one's for you.
You never played a Final Fantasy? It's fine. Those things are long as hell.
No retreat.
The paint job.
As if you didn't have enough to worry about. Now you'll have to deal with this thing, too.
Hi, Crossbones.
This shouldn't take long. How much is Lilith paying
You're at
you guys
Kmart.
anyway?
Pay as you can plan. What? Bum 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 bum.
They won't know what hit 'em.
I don't do this for just anyone.
Bye, Crossbones.
I thought that was supposed to be the tough one. This might help a little.
So yeah, the Assassin's Creed lore, guys. Oh my god. So I decided I was kicking it off with there's two videos that I'm working on to start with, okay? One is I'm gonna redo the video I did on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but unlike our Assassin's Creed Odyssey in 9 minutes video, which I did upload there for some reason, what my plan is to do a full thing. As many of the side stories as I can do, the additional stuff. I am gonna end it at Atlantis, because Atlantis is gonna be like a whole thing in itself.
Everything looks good so far.
But I'm gonna cover all of Odyssey, but I'm also gonna be comparing it to the book.
Welcome, assistant.
So I'm replaying Odyssey as Cassandra, because I did it as Alexios the first time. And I'm reading the book with Cassandra in it. So we'll have the differences in the book. The book is interesting, because they're not... Yeah, she's a descendant of an Isu and all that crap, but she's, like, very weak in comparison, because they're not given the power of fantasy. Hey, creator. But I'm doing that. We're doing the Odyssey run through, okay? The movie's going to get covered too, Flashpool, along with Lost Media and plot threads that didn't go anywhere, mysteries that started up and didn't go anywhere. But I'm doing, yeah, the whole point of, so the reason I'm doing this kind of relaunch of EM is not to make money off it like we used to do. It's entirely because I like gaming lore. It's where it all started from. That's why I covered Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil and Assassin's Creed, because I love lore. I just love keeping track of all of that crap. And I was trying to find some more creative projects to do for fun. And honestly, like assembling all the precursor lore, that was fun for me. I enjoyed it. Now I gotta turn it to a video, and we'll see how much fun that is, but I liked assembling the data. So for me, that's what I was enjoying, and I thought, well, why not just re-upload them to a new channel? And then I think it was Carfting that brought up, why don't you just use your old lore channel? I was like, that's actually a really good point.
I tell you, I can't wait to fire this thing up.
Hey, you know what they call me in France?
Exactly, Chief. That's what I like to do.
Nothing. I'm surprised enough when people recognize.
Yeah, it's really its
me
own
as
chapter in
Queens.
Odyssey Suicide. It's not in the
They
book or
did.
anything like that either, from what I understand. I haven't got there yet, but
No
right now
idea.
Cassandra's just getting her ass handed to her everywhere that she
Pierre
goes.
Parkour.
I like it. What would you be called around the globe?
Huh, I don't know. Haven't had the chance to linger in all the places I've been. Oh, there's a Spanish paper in Brooklyn that calls me Aranido. I like that one. Every now
Aranido.
and then I hear someone call it out when they spot me. Usually kids, waving their arms off. Always makes my day. Oh, did I tell you?
Aranido.
in Spanish? Next time I'll be able to say more than just, yo no hablo español. I can't wait till we do this again.
But yeah, I like doing that, Chief. One thing that turned me off of EM every time I've tried to reboot it is I seem to only attract detractors who want to be like, oh my god, you said Bayek wrong. It's Bayek or whatever. You know what I mean? So, like, the pronunciation people always get on my nerves, which is why I don't normally read the comments over there, honestly. As much fun as I love doing these, then you'll have one guy show up and be like, oh, I cringed every time you said this name. And it's just kind of like, ah, fuck off. Did you put together all of this? If you go to EM, I've unlisted most of the discussions and everything like that. I'm probably gonna unlist all the D&D games, so it just is all the stuff me and Natalie did. Well, that's how it started, Flashpool, but then it just gets on my nerves because people just won't shut the fuck up about it.
Hey, can I ask a favor?
Oh, with the Raz versus Raz, I always get one person that shows up as like, Raish, Raz, and I always just respond with, you're wrong. I leave it at that just to see what they do.
You're pretty cool, Hunter. We do fun stuff.
Sending your friends out to fight isn't the easiest choice, but we all know what we signed up for.
So,
Bye.
what I discovered with the precursor, putting together the precursor lore, the Isu lore, pre-Assassin's Creed 3, super simple. It's very straightforward, okay? The storyline is really simple. It's, let's go find out what that looks like, yeah. Mjolnir is one of those interesting ones where everyone has their own pronunciation, and they all want to say it differently. Even though it's literally in things.
Sometimes, I even impress myself.
How can we help you, Hunter? So, you have much experience with smithing? Perhaps you should put... Hydra won't stand a chance.
Okay.
Farewell.
Yep, sorry, Brucey. I got distracted there. Okay, so the Isu lore starts. The Isu lore is basically, and this is where it was really confusing at first. Okay, so at the very beginning, Assassin's Creed 1 through 3, Isu lore is easy. All right, there was an ancient race at the time of those games. They were known as the precursors of the first civilization. That's all they were known as. They were nothing special. And the plot basically boils down to this ancient civilization created devices that were super far advanced and everyone wanted them. What you discover over the course of 1, 2, and 3
yours truly.
Is that the Isu
I don't want to presume or anything, but
are
I think our trust and acceptance
basically
levels are like
they're the progenitors of the human race.
Right?
Okay?
Yes, you can
They
definitely say you are my best
they came before
Spider-Man
us
friend.
and they created humanity
I mean, yes,
to be a
of course.
docile
I never
workforce.
doubted I was the best spider person in your life.
You are one of the best people in my life. Period.
They then created
So,
neurotransmitters that they
BFFs
put
and
into
all.
our heads,
I'm ready to hear it.
and
What's the
they
verdict?
could
Shoot me
use
straight, I can
pieces of
handle it,
Eden
no hard
to
feelings.
control humanity.
I'm sorry,
Okay?
Peter.
That was the point of the Apple of
Oh,
Eden.
don't
So
be.
if
I
you remember at the
understand.
end of
You don't have to
Assassin's Creed
explain
1,
anything.
2, and
It was
3,
just an honor to be nominated.
when somebody gets an apple, everyone
No,
around them
I
suddenly
meant
has to
I'm
bow,
sorry.
or they get
I
thrown
do not
aside,
know
or
what
they
you
have
are
to listen.
talking about.
Oh, right. I need to remember to say all the words. I know you think I'm just this sweet kid with no bad bone in his body, but I really think I belong with the Suns. I even watched
We're just
all
waiting
the
to see what
cinematic
Peter says.
universes
Sorry.
of all known universes and was the test subject for some spells that magic swore will wear off. Someday. I think they're warming up to me. So what do you think? Is there a place for me in the Suns after this whole apocalypse scenario is over?
Oh, what? It's a lighter dark choice? I want to tell him he's on the Suns. But in order to get my light choice, I gotta tell him he's an Avenger. What should I do? Bucket.
I do not know what to say, Peter, except welcome to the Suns.
Are you serious? Are you being serious right now? Wait until I tell Robbie this is absolutely the best day ever!
Do not get too excited, Peter. You are a sun now, a hero of darkness. You must act accordingly.
I know, Hikaru-chan, but still.
Makes sense. I'll try to handle this more like Blade or Magic. Ultra chill and disaffected. Okay, let's start this.
It
over.
is Flashpool.
Tell
If
me
you
I'm
could get
part
by
of the Suns
the
again.
combat system, at least
Peter?
playable.
You are a midnight sun.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, so they built the human race to be slaves. The problem
Crap,
is,
I'm a midnight sun! Hey, Robbie, I have news for you! I'm a sun!
I will leave you to spread the good news then.
that's awesome.
Thank you so much, Hunter. I'm so freaking happy I can hug you right now.
I do
That was
not do
worth the
hugs,
dark point.
But perhaps Robbie does.
Only one way to find out.
Oh, I got his max friendship. So they made the human race to be slaves. This is going to be all the video, but I don't mind saying it here because you guys can tell me if anybody knows if I'm completely wrong. I got to go craft it, right? Complete his challenge in the armory. Oh, shit. Yeah, there's social links, just like in Persona, Flashpool.
Look, I'm not looking
Okay,
for
we don't
your
care about
deep,
this one.
dark
So anyway.
diary secrets. Don't get freaked out.
Wait, does he
Don't
get a
care
cap
who
out
you
with
have a
me?
Crush on. Can't believe I'm actually asking you this, but I wonder if you could give me a peek behind the.
So anyway,
magical veil?
they made humans. Now the problem is
magical
the
veil?
Isu. Now this information is in
Yeah,
1,
I
2, and
don't
3,
wanna
and then
know
it's
card
separate
tricks or anything
like
that. I
separate
just wanna know
files
more about the
because it
secrets
gets
of
it gets weird after these 3.
Talking about
Okay,
the spooky stuff.
the Isu started
Let me
to
teach you
breed
something
with the
small to
humans,
start off with.
so they
And maybe read
created
a little more.
hybrids
See how you like
that
it.
were unaffected
I
by
promise I'm a
the
quick
pieces of
study.
Eden.
Don't hesitate to throw me in the deep end.
Oh, I do not doubt your intelligence. which is why we have to start small. Exposing you to magic's darkest secrets right away could do some damage.
What kind of damage could a little book learning do?
Reading the wrong grimoire has the potential to wipe your mind completely and turn you into an empty vessel ripe for possession by non-corporeal entities that lurk in the outer darkness, just waiting for unwitting magical
To Midnight
explorers
Storian?
to
Hey, what up,
uncover
Doki?
the wrong bit of knowledge.
So they started to
read the wrong
interbreed, and there
book,
was these
stop.
hybrids. The
See,
hybrids are
I'm a quick
unaffected by the
student.
pieces of Eden, and therefore could
Just
not
let
be
me know
controlled by
when
the
and
Isu.
where, and we will begin.
Two humans named
It's good
Adam
that
and
we have
Eve
the kind of relationship where I can
basically
come to you
broke
about this stuff and
broke
there's no
out,
judgment.
stole a piece of Eden, and started a
We cannot talk to
revolution.
strange
And that's the
about this?
Isu-human war,
He knows his
way
stuff, but if
back
I
in the
came to him to teach
way
me,
back
I'd
in the
never hear
in the
end of
beginning.
it.
Okay.
The man loves the sound of his own voice.
While the
especially
Isu-human
when
war
he's
was
reciting
going on,
incantations.
and they were trying to get them under
If you don't
control
mind,
again,
Can we keep
what
these
happened
lessons
is
between you and me?
the end of the world was coming. They have a whole bunch of
I
like
will keep
scientific
our
names for it, but
secret
what it
to my
boils down
grave.
to is the sun was going to explode.
beyond.
That's what it basically was going to be.
That's the kind of commitment I like to hear. I knew there was a reason I liked you.
Very well. I think I have the perfect reading for your first assignment. There's a book up on that shelf.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say,
Occulta
Stuart. We're sleeping
Pericula
together now.
Amet.
Oh, my Latin is a little rusty, but does that say dangerous magic secrets?
Ancient wizards did not like to get clever with their book titles. Anyway, take notes, and we will talk later.
So as of happening is they ignored the fact that the end of the world was coming. So Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva locked themselves into Isu temples with the overarching plan and the overall idea of finding an answer to the problem. And that's where a lot of what we see in Assassin's Creed comes up. They're all answers to the end of the world. No, I don't like that one. Oh, that's not as cool as I thought it was going to be. Now, the major plan that comes up originally, and this is where things get messy, okay? The original plan was that Juno made a plan where she was going to conquer humanity. How hard is this? Wall crawler level 1. Oh, this is the one where I gotta just know what the moves are. Let me look it up. So you gotta do very specific maneuvers here. That's what it comes down to. Not much, Jin. We're playing Midnight Suns. Will I explain the origin of the Isu / precursors in Assassin's Creed? Okay, so they're using this. Moving Spidey over to here. Okay, I'll pick up where I left off in a second. We got to see what we're doing here first. I'm literally watching a video to recreate what they're doing for this. Okay. Yep. Damn! Should be this. Yeah, okay, and we got it. Bow, 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 bow. One with max red shit. Yeah. I'm gonna use the restroom, but then we're gonna see his thing. Thing is in his costume. I have returned. So anyway, the Isu, basically, end of the world was coming, and they had decided they needed to find an answer. So Juno started a plan in which she had... So the first plan they were going to do was create these towers that were going to shield the planet from the sun. But the issue is the towers would take too long to build. So they set up with an automated system. An automated system that would complete the towers for the future, just in case they needed it, okay? Oh, look at that one. But this is also cool, so we're going to do that one. So they've got, like, as far as we know right now, there were a total of 7 plans. The 7th plan was the one that Odin and all them did in Valhalla, but I'll get to that. Don't worry about it.
The gods are fickle.
So what ended up happening was Juno came up with a plan that was so evil that it was decided that she needed to be imprisoned. Her idea was to basically digitally... They had a way to download your brain digitally into things, okay? Into devices, into memory banks, stuff like that. And what that boiled down to... What is this? Why... View here? Okay, those are blanks. Such a glitch when they do that. There we go.
I don't like to say that I do.
I don't care. It's just
I
bonus
wonder if I
shit.
have time to whip up some diagrams. People love diagrams.
Normally, I would frown upon pursuit of the dark arts.
So they're creating now. Her plan was to download her brain, and then she would be revived afterwards. And the reason that this was going to work is that she would then rule the human population after they were done. That was what she wanted to do.
Ain't gonna go easy, bub.
So they revive her. Jupiter and Minerva found out about this and basically created a system where she would be locked away forever and never woken back up. Okay? Juno did not create the Animus. That is Abstergo, which is the Templars.
Ready to work?
Juno and them created a lot of the Isu devices. Piece of Eden, towers, the Shroud, stuff like that. And all of that comes into play in a little bit.
To be a team player. So I guess I'm letting you choose for me too.
I can't upgrade this anymore? Oh, I need more heroic essence. Shit. All right.
Let's see him try to handle me now.
So with her locked away, Minerva used a device called the Eye, which comes up later in the Odin storyline.
Test this out next time.
She used a device called the Eye to see into the future and could see that in 2012 we were going to have another end of the world. So since they did not have a way to actually effectively stop the end of the world from happening, they kind of reserved themselves to find a way to survive it. Now, Odin, in his side of the Isu, they had their own plan, and we'll come back to them in a little bit. But right now, it's just Jupiter, Minerva, and Juno. Okay, so the end of the world happens. Enough humans survive to kind of repopulate the planet and let it move on. Enough Isu survive to go on a little bit longer, but there's not enough left of their population, which eventually leads to them going extinct, is what ends up happening.
Practice makes perfect.
So as the Isu are going extinct, Minerva and Jupiter, they spend the rest of their time walking the Earth for centuries until the end of time. With the world having ended, though, what ends up happening is the pieces of Eden, the temples, all that stuff, is still out there. It's just slightly damaged, okay? And that's how we get into more of the modern day story. Now, what ended up happening is Minerva and Jupiter went away. Now, here's where things get confusing, because this was the original plot. Now, the original plot resolved at the end of Assassin's Creed 3 with what I just told you, which is pretty straightforward. Minerva made a device that would tell into the future. She would use it to tell the timelines, Ezio and Connor and all these people, how to fix the world and how to prevent it from going bad. Juno had been locked away, and what happened at the end of the Desmond storyline, Desmond was presented, because as they were, so at the beginning of Assassin's Creed, they got a map of the pieces of Eden, all right? They used this map. We need essence, so we'll do this real fast, and then we'll go on with the mission. They used this map They used the map to find the other pieces of Eden. Now, the Templars wanted to do it to control the populace, and the Assassins didn't want the Templars to control the populace. That's basically what that boiled down to. The story was later revealed that these pieces of Eden and these temples were actually there to relay the message that the end of the world was coming. And so Desmond and his group started to work towards preventing the end of the world while the Templars were still doing their things.
Got it.
Yeah, the Isu foresaw the Animus. They, with their I could see into the future device, they saw that there would be a way for the future person to go back in time and see these messages. So at the end of the whole thing, Desmond has the option of letting the world end. And if he does so, if he lets the world end, it's going to be reborn afterwards. He'll be considered like a messiah, here to save everyone from what happened with the Isu's devices and the end of the world's destruction and all that stuff. Or he can activate the towers, which will shield the planet Earth from the sun explosion. But if he does that, that will actually free Juno, whose plan is to rule mankind. Now, the original plot, before it got altered by Ubisoft, seeing a money thing in there, just a big money pit in their hands, was that it was going to end there. He was going to end the world. They were going to take off and get off the planet in a spaceship, apparently. Didn't know that was a thing, but they were going to do it. And that was going to be how the story ended. But Ubisoft, seeing a cash pit, wanted to make more Assassin's Creed. And I'm happy they did. I love that franchise.
No retreat.
So as we discovered, the plot went weird at this point because there was no overall direction. There was no connectors to it. So the first thing they tried to do was get more information on this plot,
I'm not going anywhere.
which boiled down to...
They've armed one of the crates.
What the hell?
It's going to explode if you don't get that key.
Okay.
Here comes the heat.
So they decided to follow the storyline of Juno. Now, what that boiled into was Juno was just looking for... This is the blue storage crate? That looks yellow to me. That's blue. Shit, who's got the blue one? I guess we'll find out the hard way.
Kiss it goodbye.
As they say, it gets the job done.
To that face. I owe you a cola.
Where the hell is the right key card for this one?
It's about time.
Is that red? No! I got blue. I need yellow. You sons of bitches. All right. We're out. We gotta wait. Hopefully it doesn't blow up the shed.
They've destroyed one of the crates. Focus
Oh,
on
we're
getting
fine.
the other keys.
So anyway, after 3, they did loot. They lost the plot. Officially, it went out the window because they didn't know what they wanted to do. So instead of having a Desmond-type character, for quite a few of the games, you were generic analyst at the company. That's basically what you were.
Another of the crates is armed to detonate. Get to that key card.
And that plot followed what happened to Juno. So Juno's technology, she was revived, but she was only a digital essence at that point. So in order to prevent... So she was only digital. She had no body. So the first thing that they wanted to do was they wanted to get a body for Juno.
Wipe out the remaining Hydra forces, and let's get you home.
So the plot at that point followed Juno trying to convince you to free her from her digital prison. We also discovered her husband, Itea, was another of the plans to survive the end of the world. So basically, Itea could resurrect in a new human body every single time he needed to. So he technically could live forever through resurrection.
Clearly.
So he had been revived as an individual who was trying to free Juno, basically. John Standish, or what I think was his name. What that plot boils down to is eventually... Eventually, Juno did find a way out, because what happened is there was also a device called the Shroud. Now, the Shroud had the memories of another Isu, who had found a way to download his brain into that, so he kind of survived posthumous as well. And using that shroud and the memories of this other guy, Corcus Canis, I got him written down somewhere. What ended up happening was it was realized that it was basically realized when they discovered that the shroud existed that they could capture that, and then Abstergo could find a way to effectively recreate an Isu body. Their idea was if by doing this they could unlock the entire genome for an Isu. That if they could unlock the entire genome for an Isu, then what they would be able to do is they could then basically dissect it and figure out the secrets of that ancient race. Now the story wrapped up with them getting the shroud and deciding that they're going to start Project Phoenix, which is going to be the revival of a Isu body. And Juno was trying to get into that Isu body so that she could effectively rule the world. The story then abandoned the video games. It went into a 12-issue comic series written by Titan Comics, featuring Charlotte de la Cruz, an entirely new assassin, and her journey to prevent the Phoenix Project from being commenced because that would end the world. So she has her own assassins that she goes into in the past and goes on an entirely different journey and effectively destroys the Shroud and Juno's body all in one fell swoop. It didn't end in the games. The Juno plot ended elsewhere. Because what they did was for like... Well, thank you, Fish. I appreciate that. Because basically what they did was they did 4 games dragging out this Juno plot with it having no end or anything going on. And they decided they're just going to wrap it up in a comic book. I actually own the comic book. It's called Uprising. It's really good. So that brings us to the Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla era, okay? So basically up to this point, Desmond's whole thing was, this is going to stop the end of the world. We discovered an ancient civilization. They mostly wanted to help us. Juno didn't want to help us. She wanted to rule the world. Ubisoft didn't know how to conclude the storyline, so they regulated it to a comic book series to end that storyline. And that's that stuff. See... You would think that. They're called the Capitoliatode. I gotta look at the exact pronunciation, but it's like the Capitoliatode triad. They were like the smartest of the Isu, or at least they thought they were. But when we get to Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, we discover they're not as big of a deal as we thought they were. Yeah, because the Juno plot spanned over, it was Unity, Black Flag, Rogue, and Syndicate. So 4 games followed the Juno plot with it going nowhere. Yeah, they were basically supposed to be the Trinity of that universe.
Good girl, Charlie.
So, in Origins, we discover a brand new protagonist. Her name is Layla. Layla's basically going to become our new Desmond. They realize that having no Desmond really hurt the franchise, so they're going to bring back a Desmond with Layla. All right? And we don't really discover much of the overarching plot other than Layla is tapping into the memories of the Isu, going into different memories that they have downloaded. So the first one's Bayek. They're going to go into Bayek stuff. And I don't remember there being much Isu-related stuff in the first one because I remember being very confused by a lot of the decisions they made because there's very little stuff going on with Layla. We just discovered that she is an ex-Abstergo employee, that her overarching thing is that she's going to try to find an answer to all the problems, and that's kind of where we're at. It was when we got to Odyssey and the Atlantis DLC that things got weird.
Everything by the numbers. bummer.
So what they decided to do then is they were starting to redo the Isu storyline. And first thing they did is name them Isu. They actually weren't named Isu before. They were the precursors of the first civilization. That's what they called themselves, but they weren't actually called the Isu. So they started to get the name Isu in Origins, but it was Odyssey that we got to kind of deep dive into them. And what that excuse turned into is every time you've ever known of a pantheon, like Egyptian pantheon, Norse pantheon, Roman pantheon, Greek pantheon, those aren't separate people.
You are gonna love this.
Those are the same people, okay? So, case in point, where is it? I got this here at the script. This is my script for that video, the one I'm telling you guys right now. Juno is her Roman name. Uni is her Etruscan era. And in Norse mythology, she is the Jotun Hayakorin. I gotta get the pronunciations down for the sake of the video, but for the sake of right now, I'm just telling you. Minerva is Mara and Minerva at the same time. She's also Athena. She's also Saraswati in the Hindu religion. And she's Vor or Gunlod on Norse mythology. Okay? So basically, all of the Isu that you know are different people, and the reasoning behind all of this is that the Isu technology was so advanced that people like Cassandra and Ivor couldn't comprehend it. So what they did was their societies praised the Isu as gods, and by praising them as gods, turned them into a pantheon. And as that society moved on, the new people showed up and then named them different gods. Okay? You're right. The new ones came out of the Valhalla one, and that's where Odin and all them come from with a different plan.
I'm here if you need me.
So basically, Juno is 3 different people in the Assassin's Creed lore. I'm gonna look up all the pronunciations before I make the video, Brucey, so don't worry. I'm not gonna be just spouting off whatever I feel like it is. It's Layla. Layla ends up passing on in Valhalla. I don't have any credits left. Shit.
Ready to work?
Awesome. Can't wait to see how this goes.
So in the Egyptian timeline, they've got all different names. Okay, that's fine. In the Atlantis stuff, we discover a lot of the experiments they were doing, a lot more about their civilization. That's where we discovered stuff like the Isu War and things like that. Cool. It was a good way to just expand upon the Isu lore. When we got to Valhalla, they decided to introduce a new pantheon. So all the ones you kind of know, all the ones you do know, like all the Juno, Minerva, and Jupiter, so they're Jotun. They're the blue giants. That's what they are. So Odin in Valhalla, in his group, they're a different group of Isu. They're not the same group now. So over here we got the ones we know. They're still in the lore. They're the Jotun. But over here, the Aesir are a different group. Odin had a plan of stealing another of Juno and Minerva's plans, and that one was what happens in Valhalla, where basically you can get reincarnated, which is a technology Juno already perfected, so you can be reincarnated multiple times. But the one that they're using in the Odin thing is a direct reincarnation, but it can only happen one time.
Now, I know a lot of you aren't used to the scientific method. So, take a breath, let it all soak in.
So at the end of Valhalla, Layla gets downloaded into the digital manifest where we see what appears to be Desmond. Desmond isn't dead. He's also downloaded. So basically where Juno, Jupiter, and Minerva all ended up in Odin, in that digital realm, that's where they are. And Loki downloads his brain into the body of Basim where he gets free.
Now, it's my turn. Mine and how.
And that's where we are now. Infinity's going to pick up that
Pops
plot.
wasn't trying to weaponize gamma energy. He was trying to supercharge it into an almost unlimited power source. Should probably thank Bruce for helping me realize that. Problem is, gamma energy has a threshold. Push it too much and it goes boom. Big time.
Enter Los Diablos.
And what they're dealing with in the modern day plotline at this point is Desmond did activate the shields to protect them from the sun flares, but the shields haven't gone down, which is causing new issues. So they're trying to find a way to get the shields down.
Channel it through my accelerator cannon. Well, that gamma field page of yours
will go boom big time.
Bingo. Huge time.
We're gonna need a tremendous amount of power.
And not just gamma. Yo, Lost Boys. And Lost Girls. Saddle up. We need you.
Sabretooth's still out there. They ain't going nowhere without me.
The more the better.
Sweet!
Somebody's gotta clap when I thwart the apocalypse.
I couldn't find what the Aesir Isu officially were, other than they're a different pantheon of different group suicide. I couldn't find if they were supposed to be the military arm, or just a different tribe, or what exactly the Aesir were. Oh, I don't want to salvage. Yeah. So I was making one video for all the information, but then I have to make multiple videos at this point because I have to tell the story of the guy that was stuck in the shroud and how he got sucked into there. There's somebody downloaded into the staff, the Atlantis staff. There's another Isu downloaded into that. And we have the entire Aesir plot, which involves Odin trying to get his hands on the future foretelling device. That's what the Eye of Odin is.
This plan seems crazy, right?
I think that's what it boils down to, because I couldn't find any clear definition, but it seems like it's just the different nations of Isu, basically.
Stay focused on Tony's ridiculous plan. I'll keep an eye out for Hydra.
Your enthusiasm is infectious, Sarah.
I'm allowing this to move forward, aren't I? Anyway, Robbie and Tony are all...
You kind of came halfway in. I'm turning this into a video arcane, everything I just said, which has already led to like 3 other ones, but the 2 Assassin's Creed lore videos I'm starting with are that, the overarching Isu, like, storyline, and the Odyssey, all the way, like, explain everything from Odyssey.
Keep a safe distance a little longer until we're ready here. With even one blast, my gamma cannon will drain the ambient gamma energy from this entire valley. This is gonna have to be a one-shot deal.
Then don't miss.
Got that part covered.
This is by far the worst plan
I'll cover that in a second, Fallen Angel.
And I've done jobs with Deadpool.
Robbie cannot hide that page forever. If there is any chance of removing that burden from him... Speaking of...
Yo, Fast and the Flammiest, what did I just tell you?
Stark! Power up that damn ray gun!
What?
Stark! Multiple targets closing on your position!
That ain't Robbie.
Activated gamma collectors now.
How long do you need?
How would I know? I just invented the damn things yesterday.
Then keep going. We will hold the line.
Stark. Too smart for your own good.
Ignore the others and follow that page. It's time I return home.
If you could go ahead and stop them from attacking the highly volatile gamma collector, that would be fantastic.
Feel free to come down here and throw a few lasers at him.
You sure? Down there, which one of you is going to initialize the accelerator to fire this thing?
Fair point.
We will hold this position as long as necessary.
Trust me, it'll be worth the wait. So yeah, it does look like Odin learned from Eivor, but that doesn't affect the overall Isu plot because Eivor is Odin because it was a reincarnation of Odin. So basically, what happened with the Valhalla plot is what we see in the game as Ragnarok, the event, is actually the end of the world the first time. So their people go prepare themselves by stealing one of Minerva's plans, which was to download their consciousness into another device, and then new bodies would be reborn, and it would download them back into the bodies. And that's what Eivor, what's the name of the brother? The brother and Basimar. They're all those guys. In theory, the other 5 other of the Isu are out there and either have died or whatever. But those 3, they got downloaded back into the bodies and they came back. Sigurd, that was it, yeah. And so by the end of it, Eivor came to terms with Odin. Like, Odin didn't take over her body. They kind of came to terms. And it looks like they kind of came to terms with each other. I actually have to play the Ragnarok DLC. I don't think it overall affects very much, but I do got to play it before I cover the Valhalla's Isu era.
You just haven't figured that out yet.
Your mother abandons you.
I don't know. They were really fuzzy on that, Morgana. Like, at what point do they take over, or do they just take fully over? Like, at what point was Basim, and at what point was he Loki? Oh, no, that's what I'm saying, Fallen. At the end of the final chapter, when they sit down and Basim sees them, like, the bleeding effect goes through, they seem to have come to terms. Like Odin's not taking over her body, but she's not, like, trying to get rid of Odin anymore. Because I feel like that was the end goal, to take over the bodies of the individuals they reawoken into. Yeah, it's kind of where you got to think the Valhalla era Isu took a plan that Minerva, Juno, and Jupiter said wouldn't work. They took it for themselves. It's known as the 7th answer to the end of the world. It's not even like 2 or 3. It was their 7th answer that they deemed would not be viable. Yeah, he was Tyr.
Your feet.
Mother would just give me another pair. You should know that by now.
See, Tailgate, you're right. And a sage is Aitia, or Aitia, A-I-T-A. So he was the guy that revived multiple times, and it's somebody remembering and struggling with the new memories. But it's unclear, because I checked so many Reddits, if they consider the Odin, Tyr, and Loki symbiotic relationship with Eivor, Sigurd, and Basim to be a sage. Because a sage consistently reincarnates. While the system that Odin and them are using, I guess they only reincarnate one time. Son of a bitch, we need a card. Yeah, they're basically all linked into one big Doomsday myth. I don't read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Fallen Angel. How many crazy plans do Marvel heroes have? A lot. I've read it way back at the first iteration of Comicstorian Oregon. I read like 2 of the volumes.
Let's see a pattern here.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go deep diving into the Sage stuff in the first iteration of this because I'm just gonna briefly go over all the elements Tailgate. Because the Sage, the Shroud, the Staff, the Odin stuff, all doesn't really, it retains to the overarching plot, but it's all separate from the main plot. Because the main plot is all about the end of the world and the shield that Desmond put up.
Getting warmer. Keep fighting. Better not be dragging your feet.
How does one drag their feet in the air?
I'll explain later, kid. I'll show you a new one. I'd say you got lucky, bud.
I want to keep all of these.
I saw things like that once, centuries. More of them are joining the fight.
Nothing at me now.
Lilith has put a great deal of trust
Hold
in
on,
her
I gotta get
nemesis,
something very important.
Yeah, she really knows how to pick 'em.
You sound bitter. If only Mother had chosen you, right, Logan?
I'm nobody's minion. I leave that to suckers like you.
I really wanted Doritos. Yeah, there was also a Sage in the World War II stuff in Syndicate. But they're all ITEA, which is why people don't really know if the Odin Valhalla thing it makes them sages or not. Because technically they reincarnate like sages, but...
Want it done right, gotta do it yourself.
I wear these giant sweatpants all day, every day, Bruce. I had like 5 pairs of them. They follow the rules of sages, but they don't consistently reincarnate Fallen Angel. That's the problem.
That will do.
I agree. I think at the end of the day, they're just another version of a sage. The big thing that was a big debate in the community was any of the sages that we ran into not ITEA? Or are they all, or like were the other ones in there? God, the guys are like still doing fine. World War I. I haven't gone deep dived into that yet, Tailgate. So the only stuff that I've re-upped on at the moment, I'm playing Rogue at the moment. I'm literally like halfway through a platinum on Rogue. I just did all of the Ezio trilogy, like all of them, and I did the research on the precursors, so like anything outside of that, my memory's still fuzzy on because I haven't done it in a while.
Whatever works for you.
You're lucky that's as far as
But didn't the guy who took over the modern day storyline and the Isu storyline also leave now?
Maybe it's time you quit this racket. You should just start backing away slowly.
I think we've given you just about enough time, Rugs. I'm getting bored with this group.
I'll be more than happy to put you out of your misery.
Assassin's Creed 1 Tailgate. I've literally been playing that franchise since launch. I'm not even joking. Like, I get into Assassin's Creed 1, and like I've said 100 times, I don't follow social media, the internet very much. I didn't even look at reviews. I just enjoyed it. I didn't find it repetitive or whatever. No, I guarantee it is. Like, I'm not saying that it isn't a repetitive game, but I'll probably play Forspoken. I still haven't decided what we're going to stream after this. I've kind of gotten into the habit of streaming on the weekends with you guys, and I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Plus, you guys understand that with the way my brain works, I can't be here longer than, like, I don't know, like 2-3 hours normally. My brain's like, do something else, do something else, do something else. One Piece. Like I said, I'm not against it.
Lilith herself says to me, fare any better.
Oh yeah, Fire Emblem Engage. We can stream that.
It's good to be back in the fight.
I don't think AC's a cash grab. They're still not doing cash grabby stuff with it. Yeah, they've got problems. I mean, obvious problems with things like microtransactions and stuff. But a cash grab would imply that they're making nothing but content with the intention of it being a cash grab, and I don't think that's the case. Valhalla is way too big to be considered only a cash grab.
You don't get it, Rump. There's magic pumping through these veins now.
You got that right.
If they wanted to make AC games that are cash grabs, they could have very easily just released Valhalla as a 10-hour adventure and called it a day.
Get another deal, oh please. What did Lilith offer you? Better gas mileage?
Not quite.
I just finished the Beretti arc, the creator, so I'm on chapter 69. They're going after Nami.
Return.
Tried to avoid this mess, you know.
What?
But y'all had to do things the hard way. You were right, kid. I am a coward.
What?
Been running from this moment my whole life. World's really gonna beat this thing, it'll need someone strong. Like you.
Johnny! Wait! No!
Wait, no! What? What?
See you soon, Rocks.
Aw.
The sleeping titan has awakened. The Herald of Cathar.
I just gave him an upgrade.
This isn't good. Code green! Code green!
Now, before we all start playing the blame game, I think it's important to recognize that my theory would have worked.
This is Dr. Banner's other side?
Horns are new.
That's not all, Toby. Through Mother's eyes.
It sounds a little weird, too.
Ah! Three hopes is good. I got bored of three hopes, like right at the. I'm literally at the end. Like I have like 2 more sessions to go through.
Had your chance. Their strongest has
Okay, he's gonna revive 2 more times, so.
remains.
Oh, I can Hell Ride and Hero combo him next round. Okay.
They really want to get on my bad side.
We gotta beat this game this weekend. I can't say why, but we have to beat this game this weekend. And there's gonna be some extra stuff coming to this game.
Damned if you don't.
You see, this guy gets it. Looks like you could use this.
In 3 hopes, I sided with Edelgard, and I got Bailiff to join us. Why are there 3 there that I can't hit? What are these?
It is time.
I cannot say. I'm under contract to not say things that are happening. But we'll be doing Midnight Suns for the month of January probably before I can move on to anything else, unless I start adding in extra stream days. We got New Game Plus to do, and I got trophies to go after. Remember, we agreed I'm working on trophies on these streams. We agreed, chat! I really should start streaming more in the middle of the week. If you guys are cool with these 2 to 3 hour streams, I could definitely do more. Like, Sean and I are always working on trophies at night. We could easily do those.
Frustrating it's been.
I think I like it better.
I'm sure it was to your advantage keeping me down.
Don't get all broody on me now, Bruce. That's just.
Yeah, I go until my brain tells me I need to break. I'm a bad streamer because I get. What happens is, because of my ADD, eventually when we're streaming, I run out of things to really talk about in general. Like today I talked about Assassin's Creed. No one asked me about the Comics Are Dying tweet I put out, so we're not talking about that. But I basically run out of things to talk about, and then I just sit here aimlessly looking at the screen, and that's not a good stream. Neither of us are having fun with that. I don't get the community that I'm after, and you guys don't get the streamer talking to me. And that's where I need to call the streams. And I'm getting better. I can go longer, but early on we were doing like 45 minutes and I'd get bored. That's basically what it boils down to. I just get bored. I don't know what it is about Assassin's Creed games. It's one of the few games I can sit down and just play for 6 hours and just veg out and play. What do I think with the Joker having a baby? Well, one, the Joker doesn't have a baby. Anybody who reads the comic can see that. He thinks he's pregnant. He's not. He's got a mud baby. 2, I've now done 2 videos discussing that. And I think it's stupid that people are freaking out about it. It's people just looking for something to be angry about. That's all it
We're not
is.
getting anywhere with this. Might as well be throwing pointy sticks.
How did you ever manage to control him in the past?
But control is a strong word. I'd say it's more like we pointed him at something.
That is not reassuring.
They're not dying, Morgana. I've done a lot of research on the whole thing, and I've watched a lot of the Comics Gator loud yelling guys arguments. I watched the whole videos, which I don't understand why they yell and don't know how to audio mix. Like, how do you not know how to equalize?
I hope you thought that through.
I'm saving my energy till we need it.
Now, on the flip side, people toting $2 billion in the comic book industry is a win, blah, 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 blah. It is a win, but it is a huge amount of manga getting a huge resurgence in 2021. There's a lot of it in there. But that doesn't mean that comics have done poorly. The market share is still on the side of Marvel and DC in America. There is something that he's hitting. It does. No, it just flickers. Okay.
This shouldn't take long.
Hey, what's going on, Carlos? Well, a lot of the ones that I watched, they would pull up very valid points, and I would find it hilarious because they'd have the evidence that they needed right there in front of them. But instead, they wanted it to sound better for them, so they would pick the thing right next to it that would look better for the argument, but was the wrong factoid.
Now that was something.
Like, who is this guy? Young Rippa? He was sitting there saying how Jujutsu Kaisen beat out over American comic books, or that was a lot of the sales. And he's literally looking at top 5 by series, which means the entirety of its sales since launch, 30 million. But right beneath that, there's by volume, which is 5 million, which still solidifies his point 100%. Actually, it's a very good talking point. But instead, he wants to go with the incorrect fact for his point, because it makes it sound better.
All these years, Tony, letting you think you were my equal. I could have squashed you so easily.
You let us go. Not sure I want to know why.
The Hulk will deliver the page to Lilith, just as it was foretold. Just as she planned all along.
All right. Because you're telling me she orchestrated all of this?
My mother always gets what she wants. With the Darkhold in her grasp, there is only one thing she is missing. Me.
Big mad. Ah, that's awesome. So now we're coming to the conclusion finally. Do I think I actually don't, Fallen Angel. If you look at what did really well in 2021, which was the big boom in manga, which did make the overarching stuff look better. What happened is the biggest selling manga was Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Tokyo Revenger. Those same things came out with their animes and ended the anime on a cliffhanger, which could be read in the manga. I've said it since the beginning. We need like we need like Justice League Unlimited back, a show that can point you to the different comics.
Magic is too young to have this on her shoulders.
Hey, Kimosabi.
Can't tell Magic what to do though. Got too much of that Rasputin headstrong nature.
It is indeed dark times when the youth must make dark choices.
I'm worried about the kid. You change when you cancel someone's check. We can't afford another one on our side pulling a banner.
Pretty sure Demon Slayer ended now, but that it'll still see a manga boom. I think I have all of them upstairs. I haven't read it all the way to the end yet, Kimasabi. But it'll have another boom once the new season comes back. They got another season left to do.
I gotta make sure she doesn't end up like me. Last thing I need is another Jubilee. She could come in handy against Hulk, though.
The Hulk situation worries us all.
I've survived a few dust-ups with the Green Rage monster. 2 reasons I walked away. Healing factor, and I got the feeling that
pretty sure
Banner
Demon
was
Slayer
holding
ended.
the green guy back. I don't get that feeling anymore. Do you?
Yeah, it ended at 205 chapters. The show's done for now. They got a 3rd season they got to touch on, basically. Maybe a 4th if they stretch it all out again.
Banner was smart. She controls Hulk's only weakness. The part that was on our side.
Well, they tried that with Batman Urban Legends, Iron Crisp, and it didn't do that well. They just canceled Batman Urban Legends.
Hulk and I have tangled before, but it was nothing like that.
Enough, Tony. We tried and we failed. Time to admit we might not have all the answers on this one.
We needed to act, and that's exactly what I did. Yeah, okay, the plan didn't work out. I'll come up with another. If that doesn't work, I'll try again and again.
No. We're talking Demon Slayer, Brucey. I think Jujutsu Kaisen's manga is still going. I thought you were talking about Demon Slayer. Hey, Zachary Allen Jones.
I know exactly what you meant.
Blue Beetle excited for? If we're going to superhero movies, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with The Flash. It's going to be a spectacular shit show, or it's going to be incredible.
I can still fix this.
Stand down now, before we all go down with you.
What do you say, boss? Is Rogers right? Should the star player get benched after one mistake? Or maybe you're smart, and you know I can get us across the finish line.
Uh-oh. I'm on your side.
I have faith in you, Tony. One failed plan will not change that.
The great hunter has spoken. I knew you'd have my back. Anything else, Rogers?
This won't end well.
I see a supermarket or quarter store like a Shonen Jump. I can see Marvel doing that. What if they came out with the biggest issues of last month, the following month in a magazine like that they put out in the supermarkets? So if you're reading that, you still would get faster if you go read the real comics, but you could still get kind of caught up on a whole bunch at once for a cheaper price. Where's Robbie? Oh, he's all the way back there. No. But like, I'm not saying all of the issue. I'm talking like all 10 biggest Marvel books of last month. So like both Spider-Man, and we'll do an issue of the X-Men and stuff like that. Because that's a Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump's just all the chapters of all your favorite manga.
I can't get Blaze out of my head. I don't mean possession or anything. Just everything that happened.
Tell me what you are thinking.
On the one hand, he was my personal hero. On the other hand, he tried to destroy you. On the other hand,
not bad. Jess West, the best. How are you doing today?
To save me. How do I honor him and still be truthful? It's too many hands.
No matter what betrayals he visited upon us, he did the right thing in the end. You are standing here because he sacrificed himself.
Maybe so. I also remember Mephisto's sulfur stench, and Blaze's generally awful attitude. Can I really talk about the good and ignore the awful? I don't think so.
Whatever you decide to do it quickly. I'm afraid we are running out of time.
You really helped clarify my thinking. Thank you. I'll figure something out by morning. Promise. This is so hard. Maybe we should just have a memorial barbecue.
I mean, it's...
Ooh, free.
Robbie will figure
We're gonna skip through, especially with Peter. I'm done with Peter. We've already gotten all the way up his social link, so we're good on that. That's why I like Shonen Jump. I have a subscription to them.
I need to cool off after that last outing. Literally, the desert is too hot for a ration.
Oh, I don't doubt that Moo Girl's got an audience. It's not a comic book for me, that's all. I have nothing against Moon Girl. Don't worry, I'm not one of those guys that's like, that comic's not for me. Cancel it! I don't want to ever read it. I don't want to see it on there. No, Moon Girl's got an audience. Squirrel Girl's got an audience. Not everyone likes Red Hood and Venom. I love those.
I see you, Hunter.
Let's just... Getting a little burned out on... Like, half of our streams are just all of these. The social link stuff.
Oh, you are gonna love this.
And I'm fine with that, I am, because I like it. But, like, right now, I just want to get back to the fighting.
Sometimes, I even impress myself.
That's all I want right now. Ooh, a legendary.
Time to work.
I actually am way behind on One Punch. I haven't read that since the original Comicstorian.
Another magic.
Always a pleasure.
I want to ask you something, but you can't make fun of me, okay?
All right, but I like Robbie.
Fire away, Robbie.
Well, there is this online video game tournament, and I was kind of wondering, will you be my player too?
Would Sparky not be the natural choice for your player too?
Nah, Sparky's more like a player one. He does most of the driving when it matters. Oh shit, am I his NPC? Am I an NPC of my own life? And Sparky is the one who's really handling the controller?
Do not worry, Robbie. The only person who is in control of you is you, and you are driving just fine. So, what did I do to deserve this honor, Robbie?
I could ask you the same question. What did I do to deserve all your confidence in me?
I rarely meet someone as true and honest to himself as you, Robbie. Which
He's becoming self-aware.
Your spirit of vengeance without letting it control you.
Calling someone like that back home can get you a nice beating. But I'll take it as a compliment. I sometimes wonder if you'd still think that way if it wasn't for Sparky. Don't get me wrong. We're a solid duo. There's no doubt about it. But on my own, would I be that great? I'm not so sure.
Have you considered Sparky might feel the same way?
What do you mean?
Sparky is occupying your body, Robbie. He needs you more than you need him. Without you, he is just a disembodied spirit. He probably feels just as insecure as you do.
Oh, poor guy. I never thought about it that way before. Oh, now I'm feeling bad for Sparky. He should know he's still a kick-ass demon all on his own.
You should start talking to yourself that way, Robbie. You might actually realize you are the real thing. A real hero.
Eventually. I don't have any room in my reading schedule right now, Morgana. I'm planning to catch up on X-Men right now. I think Dan's gonna read that on the channel, though.
Repeat it until any last bit of doubt is erased from your mind, starting now.
I am the hero.
Perfect.
Wait, what do I get with that one? Oh, hell yeah! We're finally getting some of our trophies.
The goddess must be busy.
A bit of all three.
In the Air Force, we call them betting odds.
The Army, we call that hard intel.
So we've... One more book.
More butt picking frame? Yeah. Hey, what up, Bryant? All right, Brucey, thanks for hanging out, man. And I'll see you tomorrow, I hope. I'll be going live earlier because we got to go early because of my board game day.
Some of it.
Let's face it, this doomsday scenario might be a little too on the gothy supernatural side for the Avengers. So, it's time for them to move over and let the kids take the reins.
While I do admit that we may need a change in strategy, I do not see the need to squeeze out the Avengers.
It's not like they have any problem stonewalling us whenever they feel like it.
Nico, we are all supposed to be working together.
Well, maybe this working together stuff doesn't always, you know, work out. Besides, everyone needs a little help now and then. Even the Avengers.
So, do you have a plan?
You mean a plan to stop Chthon from serving us all up in his all-you-can-eat cosmic flesh buffet? We don't have all the deets nailed down as of yet, but we'll work it out. Till then, keep this under wraps until we know what we're doing. I don't want to freak out the Avengers any more than they already are.
Hey, Elite!
Will do.
Cool. Catch up later.
Sadly, we are going to end there. For those who don't know, because you came in later, I explained this when I first got here. The reason I'm wearing these is because I've got astigmatism and I got to get special glasses. Basically what it does is my vision is fine, but my eyes get really tired when I'm looking at screens or I'm looking at tiny text or whatever. By the end of the evening, everything's just kind of blurry, so I got a pair of glasses coming in for that. These are Gunners right here.
Don't be so hard on them.
And I'm starting to feel it right here, and I don't want to completely ruin my eyesight for the night, so I can't do anything else. So the glasses should be coming in tomorrow. Tomorrow or Monday is when I'm expecting the actual glasses. So this just kind of negates it for a little bit. These are Gunners, gamer glasses.
It's time to take control.
So.
This is our chance to show characters.
Shut up, Nico! I'm trying to say goodbye.
Superhero school dropouts. We're the Midnight Suns, and we're the real deal.
Count this Daywalker in.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a lot earlier because I got to get off earlier for a board game. Actually, I'll be getting off about this time tomorrow, but I'll go live a lot earlier to try to get used to that.
Hammer out the deets. We'll meet later.
Yeah, so Hikaru Chan, you get it. I've never dealt with one before, so I just pushed this like crazy for the last year. So now it just gets super tired, super easy. So you're like, well, you basically need to get the glasses and start letting it heal. It's not healing. So I'll catch you guys